Stay out of people's house. Stay out of their homes. If you don't, you'll end up like these last two guys have.
You don't got no right to be here.
He's not in the house. Let us come inside.
Yeah.
You don't have a right to forcibly break into someone's home.
Stop coming to my house and asking for TT.
He's not here.
Man, fuck
Don't
you.
come
Who
at
are
me
you?
like this.
You're on our fucking property.
To forcibly break into their home is a deadly, deadly decision.
I'm shutting my door. Do you have a warrant?
If you hit him, you're going to jail.
I'm not gonna hit him.
He needs to get out of the way. Why is he not getting off our property?
Do you have a warrant to enter my property?
The father making a life or death decision, shot the intruder and killed him.
Oh yeah, I've shot him.
Those watching say they don't blame them.
No. I mean, they were trying to break in, right? No.
They would have done the same thing.
Hi, is this James?
Yes.
Hey, this is Deputy with the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
How are you doing, Deputy?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, you know what? Great. Does the homeowner have the right to defend against a cop that they know is a cop who is illegally and unlawfully trying to enter their property?
Yes.
Excellent.
We have cops that are a little over-aggressive, and it's usually the newer ones, and they're gung-ho, and they want to get their guy, and, power to them. But, yeah, it's still their duty to understand that people still have rights, and we can't just bust up in somebody's house.
Hey everybody, it's James Freeman. Today's video has already gone viral on channels such as Lackluster and Audit the Audit over 9 months ago. While both of these channels do a way better job than me of covering stories like this, there are some things that I thought were really important to add to this story. This story involves two cops in Polk County, Florida, to bully, intimidate, and eventually force their way into someone's home without a warrant. Now, while we've seen countless cops across the nation participate in this type of activity, the fact that this happened in Polk County, Florida stands out to me as more significant than when it happens in other locations. Reason being that Grady Judd, sheriff of Polk County, Florida, regularly brags about how residents of the area shoot and kill home intruders.
Stay out of people's house. Stay out of their homes. If you don't, you'll end up like these last two guys have. You don't have a right to forcibly break into someone's home. To forcibly break into their home is a deadly, deadly decision.
This sheriff regularly stresses that residents have a right to stop, by any means necessary, an illegal home intruder who intends to come in and do harm to you and or your family.
But you have the right to protect yourself in your home and to be free from home invaders, armed burglars, and certainly he was armed with a tire iron and making an attempt to come into the window. She stopped him. She stopped him permanently.
So this story starts out with two Polk County cops looking for someone that they do have a felony warrant for. The problem is that the person that they have a warrant for does not live at this residence, and the cops know that. In the video, the cops state that they will still continue to harass the residents of this home until they find the person that they're looking for, even though they know the person they're looking for doesn't live here. Note that it is 1:30 in the morning when this interaction happened.
Oh, Riley, I bet that. So I ain't got to talk to you. Get away from my house. I'll film it. Fuck you. I got something
He's
for
not
you.
here.
Fuck you. I don't care what you got to warrant. I don't give a fuck what this man record this shit. He ain't got no. Get away from my door. Back up. You don't got no right to be
He's
here.
not in the house. Let us come inside.
Yeah, we ain't got no. Fuck you. We ain't got to let you
Why
come
are you
in for
being
shit.
like that, man?
Cause fuck you.
Because you guys
Man, fuck
keep
all that.
harassing
Fuck
us.
all that, bro. You ain't getting no play here, bro. I promise you ain't getting no fucking play. Fuck you. Call the judge, whoever you got to call, bitch. Get Grady here. Get your supervisor here. Fuck
Who's the
that.
black male in here?
Huh?
You
Bring the black male here, bitch, and I'll put everything in my pocket on it, bitch. Let's bet on it. Let's bet on it.
Okay.
Let's
I
bet
know
on
there's
it.
a black male.
I bet there ain't. Let's bet on it. And you ain't coming in to check. I bet that.
Put him in the bedroom.
This is my house.
And don't tell him shit. Fuck that. We ain't got. This is his house. Come here.
We're
Fuck
gonna keep
that. Fuck.
coming.
Come on.
Well, then
Different
keep
hours,
coming because he's
time.
not
Oh
here.
well,
I'm
you ain't seen him
telling
come in.
So
I
who's
guarantee
the
it.
black male here?
There ain't a black
He's
male
not
here. You're the only black male here. You're right. You're the only one
I'm
here.
telling you, TT
Man,
is
fuck
not
that.
here.
Shut. You got me
Stop
fucked up.
coming to my fucking house and asking for TT.
He's not here.
Man, fuck
Don't
you.
come
Who
at
are
me
you?
like
You're
this.
on our
Put
fucking
your hand
property. Who
down.
are you?
Don't come
You're a
and
fucking
do
public
all that.
servant, bitch. You're here to serve us.
No, you're not
Fuck you
coming
mean?
in.
We ain't
You
criminal
ain't going
shit.
in anywhere.
We ain't. Fuck
Okay,
that.
so who's the black male?
Ain't
inside?
you? You
Okay.
make yourself look dumb. Get that shit on camera. Make that bitch look dumb.
recording.
Make them. There ain't a black male here. Fuck you. And you ain't coming in, bitch.
You can yell, you can scream,
I don't give a fuck.
can
You ain't
curse,
coming in.
that's fine.
You ain't coming in, pussy boy. Then I'll stand on
Okay. What I'm telling you is we're not leaving.
Yeah, you are.
Somebody's here.
No.
You're leaving. Good night.
Okay. We're not leaving. That's
Yeah, you
what I'm
are.
telling you. So,
Well, we're gonna stand here all night, I
figure out
guess.
who this
That's
black
fine.
male is in the house.
You. You.
I'm telling you.
Okay. Okay. And this is your house, right?
Our house.
Okay. And you know everybody in the house.
I absolutely have a lot of them are my
Tell
kids.
them to get their motherfucking supervisor here. You don't gotta keep answering these fucking
Exactly.
public servants questions. We pay these pussy motherfuckers. They ain't getting no play here, I guarantee it. You ain't getting no play here. I'ma stand on it. Fuck you.
Now, you may not appreciate the way in which the residents are speaking to these cops, but keep in mind, this is not the first time that these cops have been here. Again, they regularly harass these residents looking for someone that they know doesn't live here. Clearly, the patience of some of these residents has grown thin.
Y'all done came here 6 times. Ain't no black male here. Do your fucking research. Stop pulling bitches over trying to generate revenue. That's what y'all do. And I'll stand here all day. Bitch, I got all day. Let's run it.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me
Fuck
ask you
him.
this.
If he's wrong, what they gonna do?
Let me
if he's
ask you
wrong?
this.
That's
What
y'all
what
wanna know,
precisely
pussy boy.
is it you're waiting
Man,
for?
fuck that. They want to turn up out, turn this bitch up
He
and down.
says.
Hold on. There's nothing
They
you
said
can be
they
waiting
seen
on
him
that's
come
going
in.
to change the outcome.
I'm not calling supervisor. I want all the sheriffs. I want the real sheriff.
Why
Not
does
this
he
pussy
keep
ass
getting
freaking
let out?
cop, not this rookie cop. Get the fucking supervisor here. That got
All right,
sense.
Alan. All right.
That has sense. We don't deal with
You're
no
more than
rookie,
welcome
man.
to call him. You got
Get
a
him
phone
here,
in your
please.
hand?
Get him the fuck here. Get Grady himself here.
So now the resident that seems most annoyed and upset with the fact that these cops keep harassing him says, get Grady himself here. What if Grady were here? What do you think he would recommend to these residents? At this point, it's been determined that they don't have a warrant to enter the home, but the white officer is putting his foot in front of the door, preventing them from closing it. What should be done, Sheriff Grady?
Stay out of people's house. Stay out of their home. She stopped him. She stopped him permanently.
Please. I bet he knows more than both of y'all. You're gonna make yourself look dumb is what you're about to do. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna file a complaint on your bitch ass too, because I know how to
This is
do
the
all
fourth
that.
time.
You got a phone?
Fourth
Right?
time.
I do. And you're on record, so act retarded.
Okay.
Go ahead, act stupid, bitch. I want you to. I love it. Because you're going to be wrong in the end. I'm going to be right. I can stand up. That's all I can stand on. I'm going to be right in the end, homeboy. Can't do nothing about it. Dumbass. I know there's a black male here. Yeah, bitch, you. You're the only black male here, buddy. Motherfuckers are retarded. I don't get it. Knock on the door twice. Fuck that, bitch. That's harassment at this point. Fuck you. You don't got to deal with them. Shut the door again. I should have never opened it again. That's how you do that. You leave the bitch ass right out there knocking so their hand falls off. But yep, white male, uncooperative, ain't hearing to none of that shit. Ain't a criminal. Don't give 2 fucks what y'all got going on. None of that, buddy. Get your supervisor, please. Somebody that has more sense than both of y'all. We're tired of dealing with stupidity. Especially some fucking Lake Hamilton cop. What the fuck? Where's Turner? Fuck, get super cop here. I'd rather deal with fucking him. That's sad.
10, 12, times 4.
No, times 1. Supervisor. I only want to talk to y'all. Get the supervisor here. But when y'all look dumb, I want to know what's going to happen. When y'all do, if you do want to come in and you look dumb, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah, right?
What are you going to do about that
What
when
is
you
it
look
you're
dumb?
waiting on? What do you doing?
That's what I want to know, though.
Alan, hold on. I
We're
can't
not
even
subjecting
hear.
nothing.
What is it you think you're doing right now? What are you waiting on?
Okay, listen to me. Okay, we have an officer in the back.
Good.
And what do you see? He did not see it. I bet. Let's bet on it, please. If you're wrong, what would you willing to put on it then? If you're wrong, I'll let you come in right now.
Go
if you're
get a
willing to
fucking
bet.
warrant. Go get a fucking warrant for the black guy that's in here.
And there it is. The resident attempts to close the door to his home, and the officer forcibly opens it.
Go get a fucking warrant for the black guy that's in here.
Hey, watch
Get
out.
the-
Hey,
hey,
that's assault.
get-
That's
hey,
assault. No,
get-
that you get out of the way. You're stopping him from
Film
putting this on
that.
his
Why are
property.
you holding? I'm shutting my door. Do you have a warrant?
If you hit him, you're going to jail.
I'm not gonna hit him.
He needs to get out of the
Do
way.
you have
Why
a
is he
warrant?
not getting off our property?
Do you have a warrant to enter my property?
I'm looking for somebody with a felony warrant.
Do you
right
have a warrant to enter my property?
Supervisor here. Wait for the supervisor.
Do
Wait
you
for the
have a warrant to
supervisor.
enter my property?
where's the warrant?
What are you doing? Do you have a warrant to enter my property?
No, they don't, obviously.
If he's not here, you guys shouldn't have a problem with us.
It
coming
doesn't
inside
matter.
and
I
checking.
still have a right. Right? Do I have my fucking rights or don't I?
Of course.
So do you have a warrant?
But if he is not here, listen.
All right. The way warrants work, you knock on doors with warrants. You're holding my door open with no warrant.
We're not touching.
Okay, I'm gonna shut it. We'll see you guys in a little bit when you figure this out, all right?
Move out the way.
Oh, hey!
Hey, get on film. Get on film. They're fucking them up. Film them.
Hey!
Film
Get your
them.
ass off it.
Film them. Call
Oh,
911.
no.
Fuck that. Call
Call 911.
The person recording stops recording in order to use her phone to dial 911. As a result, she was arrested for misuse of emergency hotline. The unlawful arrest was used as a pretext to enter the home where the suspect they were looking for was not found because he was not there, as the residents had already explained. All of the charges against the residents were later dropped, but nothing was done to the cops that illegally entered a home and violently attacked multiple residents. I contacted Polk County Sheriff's Department to find out if Sheriff Judd's recommendation of defending against violent attackers applied to police also. Due to the fact that this conversation was over 20 minutes long, I am cutting parts out to edit it down for time. But I will also upload on its own an uncut version of this entire phone call so that you can see that the edits don't change the context of the conversation.
Hi, is this James?
Yes.
Hey, this is Deputy with the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
How are you doing, Deputy?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, you know what? Great. I'm moving out to the area. My wife bought us some property out there. Is the weather nice right now?
I say, welcome to the Sunshine State as it is pouring down rain.
What I was wondering about, though, and I had called, and I think I talked to a dispatcher, didn't want to waste her time. I'm sure they got emergencies coming in. It is legal to use deadly force against someone who's threatening you on your property in Florida. Is that right?
So here is the technicalities. Yes, you can defend yourself, your family, your property. It has to be a viable threat.
Okay. Yeah.
So if somebody's standing on the edge of your grass telling you that they're going to kick your ass, if you can walk back inside, then obviously we suggest you do that because nobody wants to take a life.
Yeah.
If they're not giving you the option, you do what you have to do.
No warrant.
We're not touching.
Okay, I'm gonna shut it. We'll see you guys in a little bit when you figure this out, all right?
Move out the way.
Oh, hey!
If you can walk back inside, then obviously we suggest you do that because nobody wants to take a life.
Yeah.
If they're not giving you the option, you do what you have to do.
Okay. That sounds perfectly reasonable, and yeah, I guess I'd assume that any case could go before a jury, so... This only applies to civilians, though, right? You could only defend yourself against a civilian who's unlawfully entering your property, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so you wouldn't be able to defend yourself against military personnel that are unlawfully entering your property, is that right?
You're going to start getting into some sketchy territory in that one.
Okay.
Because if you would have to seriously be able to prove that they were unlawfully entering your home.
Okay. All right.
Because the federal government plays by a whole other set of rules. Like, when we do a search warrant, we have to provide you with that search warrant.
Okay. Say I got a couple of guys at my front door. You know how many videos I've seen on YouTube recently of cops and of people impersonating police officers and pulling people over? And okay, so this is why I'm asking. Say I got 2 deputies at my front door. They don't have a warrant. They're saying that they want to come in and look for somebody. Again, they don't have a warrant. They're refusing to leave. They're armed. I don't know if they're really deputies or not. Clearly, a deputy wouldn't try to enter the house without a warrant, right?
Correct.
This is a situation where I should probably do what I need to do to remove these guys from my property by any means necessary, right?
Well, and this is pretty much one of the ways you can tell. Like I said, I've been doing this for a hot minute. So, have I been able to talk my way into houses before? Yes, I certainly have. Have I been able to talk my way into every house? No, I cannot. And without a search warrant, I can come to the door and I can talk to you. You can even slam the door in my face. You can even slam the door in my face. You can even slam the door in my face. That doesn't mean I have to leave.
Okay.
Because if I believe that somebody I'm looking for is in that house, then we're going to lock that house down.
Okay.
But in order for us to go in that house, we have to have a search warrant. So pretty much we're just going to lock your house down until either A, we get a search warrant approved, or A, it gets denied and we leave.
Right. And fair enough. I mean, if it's really, sheriff deputies and they're really looking for someone, of course, I'm not the kind of person who wants to hinder that. But again, I've seen so many videos recently of people impersonating police officers that it's like, I would just assume if, I got two guys at my door saying they want to come in and saying that they don't have a warrant, I'm going to assume they're not police officers, right? Because a cop would know what to do, and they would know, hey, we better back off. We better get out of here because we don't have a warrant, right? And at least
we have cops that are a little over aggressive, and it's usually the newer ones, and they're gung ho and they want to get their guy, and power to them. But yeah, it's still their duty to understand that people still have rights, and we can't just bust up in somebody's house.
Dangerous situation. I wish that all cops would just obey the law, because God forbid someone has to actually shoot a cop because they think it's someone impersonating a cop, because the cop's so ignorant they're there trying to get into a house without a warrant, right? I'm trying to understand these situations because, again, it would be nice if we all understood and had a common understanding of what we should and shouldn't be doing to each other. And
well, that would be a little too much to ask for.
Yeah. So common
sense is not very common.
Right. So let's say worst case scenario. We've got a couple of cops. They're real cops. They're trying to get into somebody's house without a warrant, no fresh pursuit. It's not legal. It's not lawful. And they're trying to force their way into a house in Florida. Does the homeowner have the right to defend against a cop that they know is a cop who is illegally and unlawfully trying to enter their property?
Yes.
Excellent. So it is perfectly legal to defend against a known police officer. He's a cop and he's illegally breaking into your house.
You better be able to prove it, though.
Excellent. I want to make it perfectly clear that I did not make this video to encourage or glorify people harming other people. I think that most of us can agree that those of us who do not have badges cannot and should not ever illegally enter someone else's home in an attempt to cause them harm. I think that most of us would also agree that if someone without a badge illegally entered our home in an attempt to cause us harm, that we would have the right to defend ourselves. But it's become so taboo to talk about defending against a violent attacker if that violent attacker has a badge and is acting under the color of law. If we're going to live in a civilized society, we're going to have mutual respect for one another, where we all recognize that nobody has special magical powers or rights to initiate force and violence against another unjustly. And that if someone is to initiate violence against another, that they don't have the right to divorce the consequences from their actions. Even the system of the attackers in this video alleges to agree that just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can just force your way into people's property. That's precisely why there's a system by which they can show probable cause to get a warrant to legally and lawfully enter a property. But what their system claims to do and what it actually does are two completely different things. These officers clearly violated their own rules and laws to illegally enter the property of innocent people without a warrant, without exigent circumstances, to violently attack these people. If they didn't have badges, they almost certainly would have been shot and killed, or at the very least criminally prosecuted for their illegal attack on innocent people. But these cops have faced zero consequences for their violent actions, and things such as qualified immunity have been put into place to divorce the illegal actions of government actors from the consequences of their actions. It was the great philosopher Frederick Bastiat that was quoted in his book The Law as saying, "Life, liberty, and property do not exist because men have made laws. On the contrary, it was the fact that life, liberty, and property existed beforehand that caused men to make laws in the first place. If we have a system that does not protect life, liberty, and property, but on the contrary, actually allows people to take it without consequences, this isn't a system of law and order." And so I close with another quote from Bastiat that accurately describes the system that you and I do live under today. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men living together in a society, they create for themselves in the course of time a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. We will never have a utopian society in which no one causes harm to others. I would simply like to live in a society where we stop pretending that such barbaric behavior is acceptable from certain members of our society.